Morning, everybody. Jeff Koppel, Realtor, General Contractor, coming to you again today. Today, I'm a combination. I'm a combination of Realtor and General Contractor. So contractor hat goes on backwards to say that I'm talking to you both as a Realtor and a contractor. Had a construction client just ask me a question the other day. Evidently, his neighbor passed away some time ago. The property's been through probate and everything. And now the one of the children of that person that passed away has decided that they don't want to improve the property. It's got some foundation issues, and it's dated, and it has some other issues. And the heirs have decided that they just want to sell the property as is. And the question that came to me was, are they required to make any repairs before they sell the property? So what I thought I would do is just open up this section of the contract, the TREC 1 to 4 contract that addresses that particular issue. So let me go ahead and share that with you here real quick. So, okay, here we are. This is actually Article 7 of the TREC promulgated contract. This is Article 7, property condition. And if you go down here to Section D under Article 7, acceptance of property condition. As is means the present condition of the property with any and all defects and without warranty except for the warranties of title and the warranties in this contract. Buyer's agreement to accept the property as is under paragraph D, or does not preclude buyer from inspecting the property under paragraph 7A from negotiating repairs or treatments in subsequent amendment, or from terminating this contract during the option period, if any. Okay, now basically what that's talking about is here under the sub A, it's basically saying that the seller allows the buyer to have access to the property in order to do property inspection at reasonable times. And the buyer is authorized to use an inspector that's licensed by a TREC, by the state of Texas TREC, to make the inspections. And then in addition, they've recently in the last few years added this extra line. If you want to do a hydrostatic test, and that's basically a pressurized test of plumbing lines within the home, you need to get specific authorization from the seller to do that, because there's a chance that if there's a line break and you do a hydrostatic test, you can create a lot of damage to the property before you've even owned it. So that's one reason that you're required to get authorization from the seller in order to do that. And basically it just says that at seller's expense, see, the existing utilities and everything will be turned on so they can do the inspection. So, okay, that's the general explanation of as is. Now, I know that this is a question that we get asked a lot from people from other states that have moved here. It's my understanding that in the state of California, you have to have an inspection. It's required by law to have an inspection. And then anything that shows up on that inspection, the seller is required to repair those items before they can sell the property. That's my understanding. I might not have a complete understanding of that, but that's what I've been told by folks that have moved here from California. So, okay, now in this particular situation with this client that contacted me, there is, in this case, his neighbor has got a retaining wall, basically a railroad tie retaining wall. And you can see from the pictures, the material in the wall is pretty bad shape. I mean, it's got some pretty significant rot. And here you can see, it's kind of gone out of alignment, and, there's a lot of rot. Okay, now this brings up an interesting thing. Under normal circumstances, the property owner is not required to repair anything when they go to sell the property. Now, this being a retaining wall, there is Texas law that says that you cannot have a condition on your property that negatively impacts a neighboring property or an adjoining property. So in this case, because the retaining wall is failing, there could be water flow issues going on to the neighbor's property, which is this one here. So under this case, the contract is not going to require the seller to repair this item, but separate Texas land legislation, there may be a case here if this particular neighbor wanted to, fight it. Looking at it from a contractor's perspective, we're not talking a huge retaining wall, like a real tall retaining wall. And it looks like the land kind of tapers off toward this end of the retaining wall anyway. So I wouldn't expect there to be huge, water infiltration issues from this. So whether or not it's worth pursuing the neighbor to, try to get this repaired, that's not a call for me or any other realtor to make. That would have to be, a decision that the property owners decide on. But anyway, I just wanted to point this out because this is a little bit unique, even though there's no obligation under the TREC contract for the seller to repair this. There may be a legal precedent for him to have to repair it if it is causing a negative impact to the neighboring property. And like I said, in this particular situation, I don't think that, if this was like a 10-foot tall retaining wall and failing, absolutely, they would need to address that repair. But in this situation, it looks like it's just kind of a low-level step. And looking at this side, it doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of water that has, flowed under or around the retaining wall. No grass is here because it's basically shaded. So, but I don't see any like discolored soil indicating water flow or anything significant. But anyway, that's, like I said, that's a special situation where it's an exterior issue that may negatively impact neighboring properties. So that may be a consideration for the seller of this property to think a little bit more about, just selling it as is and letting the dice roll on this. But anyway, that's hopefully that's a explanation of how the Texas state real estate contract works. Again, all properties in the state of Texas are sold as is, but that doesn't preclude the buyer's option of doing an inspection of the property and then requesting repairs, and that can be negotiated back and forth. So anyway, I hope you guys have learned something on this video today. And if interested, I could talk more to the types of buyers that may buy a distressed property, which this one is. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the content of this video today. If you have other suggestions for videos, I welcome them. Go ahead and send them to me at jeffkoppel@gmail.com. It's down there in the corner, you can see. And if you need a realtor that has been at the construction game for over 22 years, I've been a real estate investor since 2008 myself, and done a lot of investor type transactions or distressed property type transactions. So if you think you could use my services, I would love to talk to you. Well, thanks again for watching the video today, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.